Hello guys, and unless you've been living under a rock, you know that the Seattle Seahawks are now Super Bowl champions. And I am living in the Washington State, so I had a great time with it. Here I am painting half my beard blue, half of it green. This is the best mom in the world, drawing a Seahawk on my shaved head. And so you can see her finishing up there. And then of course we found the final product right there. And it was just an awesome time, for Seahawk fans, of course. The game itself was pretty amazing. My hands were sore from high-fiving everyone too much, and if I tried to do a commentary the next day, I would not have been able to just because my voice was completely gone. I was just sitting there thinking about how amazing it was. You have your favorite team finally make it to the Super Bowl. Seems like I've been watching Super Bowls for my entire life with other teams besides the one I'm in it, except for that horrible 2006 season where we lost to the stupid Steelers. But anyway, have your team win the Super Bowl, or win a world championship, or win a national championship, or whatever league your team is in. It's a rare thing. I'm almost 30 years old, and this is the first time it's ever happened for the Seattle Seahawks. It just sort of sunk in that we gotta really appreciate that while it's there. My favorite basketball team, the Portland Trail Blazers, last time they won a championship, I was -7. So, we'll see if that ever happens. You always have your high hopes in the seasons when things are going well, but it seems like injuries or whatever else always derails them. So it's a pretty rare thing. And while people are starting to talk about Seattle and how good they are, and they got a young team and the number one defense, and a lot of them are going to be come back next year, and discussing free agency pitchers and can they build a dynasty and all this stuff, I was like, if at this moment, it would be a really good idea just to settle down and appreciate what you've accomplished. Because, Baltimore Ravens are anything to go by. They were in the Super Bowl last year, win a great victory, improbable run, all that stuff, and then they pretty much do absolute squat this year. So I think we can be premature in all kinds of things, in life, in sports, in video games, of focusing on what's going to be next, and looking forward to the dynasty, or getting greedy about the sequel, or whatever that is, and not really appreciating the amazing thing that you have while you have it. One nice thing it has done, though, is it has stopped those annoying 49er fans from constantly crowing about how, while you may have beat them this year, they still have more rings and you don't have any. They might still have more rings, but hey, at least we got one. Got that out of the way. So this also can apply to video games as well. I think a lot of times we always get so caught up with looking forward to the next video game in the series. Like if we got a decent video game, it seems like we're always just focusing on what Gears of War 5 or what the next one in the series is going to be, instead of just stopping and saying, hey, you know what? This is a really, really good video game I'm playing, especially if you have that moment of playing one of the truly great games, which are the classics, which everyone else tries to emulate. And instead of always complaining about how every game that after it, or every game following it, didn't quite capture the magic, or didn't quite have the same level of gameplay or graphics or balance or whatever it is, I think we really need to just appreciate the games that are good. And really savor those moments when you get to play a game like Mass Effect 2. And instead of spending all your time whining about how Mass Effect 3 had a crappy ending, go back and replay Mass Effect 2 again and say, wow, this is a really great game with perfect story, great balance. You have a Gears of War 1, amazing game. And I think a lot of us, should be thankful that we're able to play Gears of War 1 at all, instead of constantly whining about how the next Gears game or that Gears game didn't measure up to the standards that we had set for that one, and that got set unreasonably high because it was so good. It's just like a Super Bowl run with your favorite team with video games. Honestly, all the perfect components came together at the right moment to make the best game, like one of the classic all-time great games of your console generation. And whenever you get to play one of those games, you should really be thankful about it, and stop trying to make every other game you play or stop comparing every other game you play to that, and being disappointed whenever it didn't manage to come up to that amazing level. I mean, obviously, game producers should be striving to achieve high levels of graphics and play and gameplay and balance in all their games. But the truth is that it seems, in my experience, that this doesn't happen. In one series, you'll have a couple really good games, and then you'll have a lull for a while. And if you manage to get into a series where it had a pretty good mix of, every other game or so was really good, well, he got a great series there. Like I feel like Gears of War 3 was a really solid, good game. And so, Gears of War 1 and 3, I think that we're doing pretty good in this series. And of course, batting averages seems like every other game is bad in the multiplayer sense. So hopefully, Gears of War 4, if we're counting Gears of War Judgment as the bad version, will be amazing again. But again, I think we can really get caught up in expecting everything to be great and missing the great moments and not appreciating the great moments. That's the right end of there. And of course, one other thing with this whole Super Bowl thing, which sort of made me think about it in a more pensive way, is the fact that my dad never got to see the Seattle Seahawks win their Super Bowl. He'd been a Washington resident and a fan for a long time, and so happens that he was killed in a gyrocopter crash just last summer. And so, as important as it is to savor sports championships and amazing video games and appreciate good things while they're there, it's far more important to appreciate good people while they're there. And so I would just encourage all of you to really appreciate the time you have with your dad, time you have with your siblings, with your mom, with your friends. People are not guaranteed, and they're by far the best moments that anyone will ever have in their life. Anyway, I'll see you guys around. And just want to say a quick thanks to Dylan44, who is my teammate in this video. Obviously a really great player and pretty much a one-man juggernaut. And so I will see you guys around later. Alright, bye.